I am that girl because I'm always trying to be my most authentic self.
I'm that girl because I value a society where people love each other and also learn to love themselves.
I am that guy because even though I am not perfect, I acknowledge that there are a lot of things about myself that can benefit a lot of other people, and I try to the best of my ability to be a resource for others with whatever they need, and I really just want to see people grow as much as myself grow, and I want to do that in any way I can.
So I'm That Girl is an international organization. It started in 2008. The Chapman chapter was founded in 2012, and Kayla and I took over as co-presidents last year.
Yeah, so basically it started in November of 2012 here, and we meet every week on Wednesdays, and we have a different discussion topic that we just come together and we sit in a big circle on the floor. We start out every meeting with our badass activities, so everyone goes around and explains like why they're a badass that day or that week, or just in general anything that makes them feel good or they're struggling with and that they're really working on overcoming, and then we move on to a discussion about a topic.
We talk about anything and everything. A lot of times we'll talk about a topic that we feel like is relevant to what's happening on campus right now. So when things were going on with the debate over the multicultural center, we talked about race on campus. We also talk a lot about self-worth, self-esteem, how the media impacts us.
Yeah, it's cool because a lot of our topics tend to relate to people on a personal level, as well as as far as like what's going on in campus, as well as on a societal level, or even a global scale. So everything from we talk about feminism, we talk about body image and media and how that affects it. Everything we even talk about like gratitude and how to center ourselves and ground ourselves and deal with stress. It's just a big open forum and safe space for people to come and talk about personal issues as well as how they feel they're affected in the society.
So, I've been coming to I Am That Girl for a year now, and I started coming after I went through a really traumatic experience, and I had a friend who was one of the leaders, and she asked me to come, and I came here and I was instantly just greeted and welcomed into this group, and I've been coming ever since.
One way I think that we can really see the impact, and it's just amazing, is when we start out the meetings at the beginning, we always tend to do like less high-risk topics, if that makes sense. So we'll start with something a little less, vulnerable and touchy of a subject, and it's so cool to see the progression throughout the semester. Leading up until a few weeks ago, we had a meeting about fear and insecurity, and to see people from all over campus, all over, who probably wouldn't be friends otherwise or have met each other otherwise, come together and listen to each other actively and support each other, talking about some of the things they are most afraid of, was amazing. It's just so cool to see people just come together as this family over something that they're passionate about and talk about things that they care about.
It's also really cool to see people grow. We end up getting a lot of like freshmen. We get a lot of people after sorority recruitment. We end up getting a lot of members at really vulnerable times in their lives, and it's really cool to see them grow in their self-esteem and maybe start contributing more ideas as the meetings go on, or just like carrying themselves with more self-confidence and self-worth, because that's something that we talk about so much, is just having value in yourself just because you're who you are, not because of anything you do. So it's like my favorite thing to see people kind of come into their own that way.
Yeah, come into like their own of like self-love, and also I feel like a lot of times people who come and are generally a lot more supported by the club eventually grow to be like the supporters and are turning and giving amazing advice to people who are struggling with something that they were just going through.